didn't make the noise, but I'm going to assume we're live. Previously on the Chaotic Neutral Podcast, the gang is back on the road. Having broken the curse over Makta, the gang is en route to the seashore city of Karsh. What intrigues, friends, enemies, and adventures await in this maritime metropolis? Find out in this week's episode of the Chaotic Neutral Podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Caleb, and I am joined tonight by Amy.
Hi! I play Kiki.
And Shane.
Hi, I play which warlock? The best warlock. The West Warlock.
And finally, David.
I don't need to play warlock. I play Kai.
Asshole.
Just Kai.
Just Kai.
Alright, so when last we left off, you guys were, you had sort of signed on with Yusuf's caravan to go from the dusty garrison little podunk village of Makta to this city called Karsh, which you were informed was sort of it's on the edge of an inland sea. It's known for its trade in salts and fish, and they have a noted magic academy. And so you had, I think, a 2-to-1 vote to go to Karsh instead of to the other city that you could have gone to.
And one of them was just like a fuck you vote.
No.
No, Amy was siding with me because I don't like Kai at the moment.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
But isn't that how so many of our decisions are made in this group? So anyways, the road, it takes a couple weeks of travel. The road sort of winds between, varies between sort of rock plateaus and sandy wastelands, and you notice that in the sandy areas, the cart doesn't seem to sink into the sand so bad. Like you would expect these carts, their wheels to get just bogged down in the sand, but for some reason they just sort of seem to ride on top of it.
Enchantments?
If you want to investigate that, you can. I mean, you're going to be riding with this caravan.
I mean, I waste so much time already. Let's start this up right now. How about what does a 19 give me?
A 19 tells you that the wheels are enchanted to basically ride on top of the surface of the thing instead of sinking in.
Mystery solved.
Yusuf sees you investigating. He goes, someone has an eye for quality. And he describes how he picked those up in one of the other cities, and they're one of the best investments he's ever made. That I could drive across a river and the cart would stay atop if I could only find an animal that could walk on water as well.
I thought he was going to try to sell them to me. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with wheels.
Oh no, these are not for sale, but I could put a referral in for you if you wanted me to, as a friend.
Well, thank you so much, Yusuf. You're so wonderful.
So you notice that for those next few days, you're sort of steadily climbing into these rocky hills, and there you can see that there's sort of a ridge of stone that mark out the line of these hills, and there's a big, almost artificial-looking gap that you seem to be making towards. And when you get there, you get the sense that you're on an ancient road, because the sort of two fins of cliff that come out facing each other that the road passes through are carved out of living stone into the shape of two maidens holding bowls up above their head. Not above their head, but out in front of them. And their faces are weathered to such that you can't even make out their features. And Yusuf says this is a good place to camp. We'll camp here tonight. And
during the week, you see me. You guys probably see me by Fozzie a lot.
Are you trying to get measurements?
Yes.
Okay. Roll me an animal handling.
Are you going to skin him?
What you doing?
An 18.
Okay. You're able to sort of use his natural movements to, so you set up a thing to measure his stride before he gets there, and he cooperates. And you're able to get pretty accurate measurements over this week, you think.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's going on there, Kai?
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I don't say anything. I'm just...
Well, that's
Yeah.
rude.
I will kill you.
She'll do it. I've seen her do
Straight
it.
up. Fucking kill you.
I'm focused.
We're bent over, like, with our hands going over his face. He's gone. I don't know what's going on. He's gone. He and Fozzie are one.
So after the camp beneath these statues of the maidens, you actually feel very invigorated. You're starting to feel acclimated to this new hot, dry climate. You're getting used to the new sorts of clothes you need to wear to keep the sun off. And as you descend the other side, you notice that this side of the hills seems to capture some moisture. You start to see sort of scrublands and what look like junipers, maybe even some olive groves here or there. And after a day or so, you come across what's definitely a river. And Yusuf points out this river, that this is the central branch of the Azad River, and you're going to be following this into Karsht, which is on the sea that shares its name with the river. And the road winds down, eventually going into the river canyon, and you can see that as you follow the river, aqueducts are coming off, and it's really impressive design, because you have two aqueducts come off at one point, and then a few miles later, sort of as a lower second tier of those aqueducts, another set of aqueducts come off, and so you actually get a four-tiered aqueduct all carrying a massive amount of water on either side of the river after several days travel. And you're down in the canyon, and the river's gotten to be broad enough and the canyon's sort of wide enough that there's a little bit of a riparian environment. So you've got, lush trees. It's very comfortable and cool down here in this canyon, but you can't really see anything up above and beyond it. And after probably total of 2.5 weeks, we'll say about 20 days of travel, you finally sort of round a bend in the canyon, and you can see in front of you the canyon's walled off by these massive sandstone walls, with an archway for the river to come through, and then on either side of that, two gates for people and traffic. And from where you round the bend, a few miles upriver, you can see that there are all sorts of carts, and there are people like down in the river bathing and washing their clothes. And the walls look a little bit like this. They're made out of sort of the same stone that's in the canyon. And you guys sort of get in the queue to go in the gate. And
I do not queue.
I'm really impressed by the two people in front. One guy is like in totally appropriate garb, and then another dude looks like Seinfeld on vacation with his black pants and his white tennis shoes and tucked in button up, and probably New York baseball cap, riding a camel. I love this.
I like how I selected it for the walls to give you guys a sense of the scale of this city, and all Shane can hone in on is this fucking tourist.
Sorry. Another apology, actually. I called this thing cached so many times in the last podcast, it was almost like I was trying to piss you off. And it was just me being Shane. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, because I'm friends with Amy.
That was a horrible thing to say.
No, she knows it. She knows she doesn't pay any attention.
I have no idea what just happened.
Wow, it could not have played out any better, Caleb.
No, we were one of the things we were talking about on the way to Berlin is I was talking about It's talking about something with Patrick Rothfuss, a book that I know she's read, and she's read well.
And I
And,
enjoyed thoroughly.
and there's a character who's a relatively main character, and I was like, oh, like this guy, and she goes, who? I have no idea. I'm like, I know you read these books. Yeah, I know. I don't remember.
Nope, no idea.
I read those 4 years ago.
We're not all eidetic, okay? We don't have that kind of brain, Caleb.
I'm not eidetic. I don't. Whatever.
Oh,
Whatever.
okay,
Moving on.
Okay.
So the queue moves relatively quickly. It seems that the guards are mainly checking to see what's being brought in. How many carts, what sort of goods, and then the caravan master sort of pays the fine. Pays not a fine, but a fee for whatever they're bringing in or taking out.
To the guards?
I'm sorry?
Who do they pay a fee to?
There seems to be sort of a robed minister at either gate who's handling the fees. The guards sort of look on and sort of keep everything orderly. You notice that they're dressed in. I had this written down somewhere.
White
They're dressed in
sneakers,
gold.
black pants, and
Gold and blue. They're dressed in gold and blue, similar to the guards in Makta. It seems like they're wearing metal with silk wrapped around it to sort of keep it cool, keep the sun off. And you notice that they have these large shields that look almost ornamental, but they have the symbol of sort of a serpent entwined with itself, a gold serpent on a blue background. You notice the flags seem to match that too. As you're waiting in line, there's a troupe of halfling performers that's putting on sort of a mummer stage play on one side, and people are throwing coins to them.
Look, Kiki, your family.
wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Just write that little comment.
I wonder how much that one's going to cost you.
That's going to cost me a lot, but I think I'll make up for it.
If you don't have enough gold, she'll take from blood.
That's probably true.
And it's going to be real creepy, too. It's not going to, she's not going to cut you. She's going to hook you up to an IV, and you're going to wake up, and you're just going to be, hooked up to all these tubes.
But other than that, you guys make it through. Okay. Actually, go ahead and roll me perception checks. Just for what's everyone wearing?
I got my big floppy hat on.
Okay.
And I think, yeah. And it's got wonderful embroidery on the top. It's got some flowers. It brought some life to the desert, I imagine. Damn it! I only got what did I get? Why can't I do this right? I got an 11 for my perception.
Okay.
My wonderful
I'm wearing normal
robe.
clothes. I see no reason to change.
Okay, I'm just
Satchel.
sort of. Well, normal for the environment, Kiki.
No.
So you're wearing European style.
I'm
Black
wearing
and
a fucking
leather.
welding jacket that I have, that little half jacket, leather thing, I'm dying. But I look cute as a button.
Okay, so Kiki's hardly conscious at this point. You guys have noticed over the past couple of weeks she seems to be drinking as much water as Fozzie.
Do halflings sweat or do they just pant?
Both. Okay, Bert. You guys, everyone else can roll perceptions too, I guess, to see if they.
17. I wanted to pickpocket
Okay. Who are you trying to pickpocket?
the man taking the money.
Okay.
25 for me.
Okay. How do you, David? You noticed that one of the halfling performers, the little jugglers, manages to dart in and grab a handful of coins from Bert's purse.
Ah, you little bastard.
I snatch him
You made
before
fun
he
of
goes
me, but I
away.
assume that's what they were gonna do.
I snatch
Okay.
him before he gets away.
Roll me an unarmed attack.
Okay.
Yep, you natural 20.
Oh, good job, David.
So yeah, you just lightning grab his hand like before he even gets out of Bert's pocket, and he looks at you. He's just like, it's
Oh,
sorry.
Just shake my finger at him.
Do I notice this?
I'd imagine that sort of now that Kai's grabbed him and is having this sort of whispered conversation with him.
I throw him 2 gold because that's just funny.
Okay. And he snatches him out of the air and like sticks him in a random hidden pocket. Gives Bert and Kai a very contrite, bow and apology. But as he turns around, he gives Kiki sort of a wink and a flourish.
do I get my money
Like
back?
people.
Yeah, he didn't actually manage to take it. Kai stopped him.
Oh my
In that
god.
20.
Wait, I have to roll a high-low on this.
Which is fine. I'm just gonna.
I guess I'm not doing it.
Throwing all the poor people, all that 500 gold I took from you a while ago.
I was going to cast Banish on that little motherfucker. He wasn't going to come back.
You're so bitter.
Right after I yelled, "That's my purse!"
I don't know you.
Actually,
So Kiki, did you try to pickpocket the guards?
Yeah, not the guards, but the dude taking the money. Just
Okay.
as we walk in and I walk by him.
Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand.
Of course I will.
You're like, oh, hi, how are you doing?
Hot day today.
26.
That's a nice shield.
Oh, hot enough for you? Okay, 26 you said?
Yes, boss.
It's gone. Losing all that money.
Alright, neither he nor the guard seem to notice that you lift. Let's see. It's probably just a tiny fee to get in the gate, so I'm going to say you get about 10 gold,
I'm not going to tell you how much gold I
which
got.
is insignificant to you, but to the tradesmen who work here, that's a small fortune. So you pass through the gate without further incident, unless you guys instigate further incident. Can never
I
tell
think
with you
so.
guys.
No, shit was going to happen.
I was amused, so I'm good.
Okay, so you pass through the river gate, and you find yourself in a district that seems to be made up mainly of stables and sort of wheelwrights, and all of the businesses seem to be around animal feeds, animal care, animal storage, carts, and Yusuf describes it as the animal district, and he sets up a stable for his searches, and says that you'll probably need to find lodgings for your creature.
Wait, what's wrong with my creature?
They just the captains don't like animals roaming the city. It clogs the street up.
Oh, but you can't stay here for a little while?
Well, I'm not paying for him.
I will. Holy shit. No, it's
What,
fine.
Yusuf?
No,
I thought we were friends. God.
He's not going to stay here. We'll just get our own place. It's fine.
Okay, so you go ahead and roll me an investigation. If your first order of business is finding lodging for Fozzie.
Yes.
Okay.
For so many other things. Fuck that. Well,
That was good.
Fozzie stays
God,
with us.
that's delicious.
And look, a whole flock of lamb.
You
Oh, Fozzie, be free.
you cannot find anyone willing to take in
We prefer
a
free
giant
range
a
parenting.
giant half owl, half bear.
That's fine. That's not. I don't want that anymore. We don't need that. You can live with me.
Okay.
You got a
Um,
2-bedroom in here? I need a big one for my compatriot.
so once Yusuf gets his stuff set up and Kiki wanders off with Fozzie, um, Yusuf explains that he's going to set up shop in the Sand Bazaar and he's arranged for lodgings for himself there. Um, that, and he pays you guys a nominal fee each, probably 10 gold or so, as your function as caravan guards. You didn't run into any trouble on the journey, but you do get paid. And he goes, this concludes our business relationship, but if you're looking for more work or you want to leave Karst, I'll probably be leaving in a few weeks for greener pastures. Feel free to stop by. I'll be here, if you need anything. So
Will do, friend.
you guys sort of have reign of the city now.
Does he know this place? Is he familiar with the surroundings and all the
Yeah.
people?
And actually, I'm going to give you, once you're through the gate, I want to give you a sort of a description of the city. You're still sort of in the river canyon, but it's widened out a bit, and so ahead of you and downhill a little bit, you can see a river delta with 2 large islands and 2 smaller islands where the river sort of splits up into channels and goes out to what you presume is the sea. On either side of the canyon, it's sort of 2 ridges run out into points with lighthouses on them. There are a total of 4 lighthouses at the mouth of the city. There's one on each of the 2 points on either side of the river, and then the 2 large islands also have lighthouses on them. On the ridge to your right, sort of at the very far end of the city, that ridge seems to be dominated by a large fortress-looking complex. And then there's a gap, and closer to that, there's a sort of a large, ornate palace, and then that's surrounded by residences. On your side of the river, you see sort of markets and warehouses, and along the inner side of the ridge on your side of the river, you can see what look like docks. The islands appear to have a mixture of docks. One seems to have temples and churches, and the other seems to have a cluster of buildings that seem self-contained.
Can we ask Yusuf which ones, like on the islands, which one are the self-contained looking ones?
Oh yes, that's the Azad Academy. If you're looking to find a chill charmer or a weather worker, they're the ones to go to.
Nice. Thank you, Yusuf.
Not a problem, friend.
Any smiths nearby?
I would try near the Sea Bazaar. That's where a lot of the trading brokers and warehouses are, and that's where a lot of the different people work on the ships and repairs for carts and that sort of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, and I head off that way.
Okay. So, I guess we'll start because we know what Kiki's doing for the next few minutes is wandering around the animal district trying to find lodging for Fozzie. So,
Kiki.
Not
Such a
what I'm
good
doing.
mom. Is that what you're doing?
No.
we established that's what you were doing with that one. So that's going to take a few minutes, and then we'll get to the rest. But you give it a college try. So do Burton and Kai sort of walk together until the paths split? Because the path would be along the river, and then Kai would split off to the Sea Bazaar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would just
Safety in numbers until I get bored.
As you're leaving the Sand Bazaar, you notice that there's this sort of chubby-looking dude on on a podium. He seems short, like think Patton Oswalt almost. And
Is he as angry?
no, but he's declaiming in a loud voice with very almost precise hand gestures. Um, People of Karst, in recognition of the captain's death, the remaining captains have proclaimed 10 days of feasting and Thanksgiving. We will choose a new captain at the end of it. This message brought to you by the Salters Guild. True Karst salt for true Karstians.
Is there a crowd around?
Sort of milling about. Like there do be the people do sort of seem to listen. And he pauses and makes another declamation that names, Caleb. Why am I suddenly not coming up with names? Lady, the Lady Salash has lost a precious heirloom. She is seeking adventurers to help her, or not adventurers, but she is seeking investigators to help her locate it. Inquire within the residential districts. And then, this message purchased by Lady Salash.
I take someone aside that notices, like, maybe just, like, looks up at the person and then maybe looks back. So is that person possessed? Is he being, I don't know, taken by someone to...
He's the crier. Whenever people have news they want distributed through the city, he and the Criers Guild, have their... You can find them throughout town.
Okay. Why did I overthink this? I thought, like, he was just standing there, like, and doing this. Does he have a piece of paper with him?
No. It seems like he's memorized these, but I don't know if you've seen Rome.
I have. Yeah, the fat guy.
Yeah,
that guy.
Where he's like, true Roman bread for true Romans. That sort of stuff.
Okay.
It's a formalized declaration, but it looks really alien to you because you don't know what all
advertising is.
Whatever. Yeah.
The only ads I ever see are for cigarettes on the back of my titty mags.
Okay, so Kai splits off to go to the Sea Bazaar. The Sand Bazaar seemed to be sort of this open area where all sorts of merchants had set up little shops, open air shops, and it was very much felt like what we would think of as a flea market. Lots of booths in the middle of a big open square. The Sea Bazaar seems to be more a network of shops and alleys that's just like a warren. So go ahead and roll me an investigation.
6.
It takes you a while, and you get completely and thoroughly lost, and finally, this you're in front of a tannery, and this guy's like, "Hey, seen you go by 3 times. Are you looking for something?"
Smithy?
Well, there are a few around. A lot of them are taking days off because of the festival. But you could also try the Stone Town. They're more into quarrying, but dwarves. They all smith from the cradle to the grave.
Which way?
He tells you to head out the. He says you can either head out the Stone Gate, or the Stone Gate would be the gate to go out. And he goes, you just follow the stone road out to the quarry, and then you'll be there.
Okay.
So Kiki, What do you do after you give up on finding Fozzie lodgings?
Find my own lodgings.
All right. Where do you go looking for them?
God, I have no idea.
Like, are you looking for an inn or a tavern, or are you looking to buy a residence, or?
Oh yeah, fuck everything. Let's just buy a place. With that
Okay.
cassette back.
Oh, well, that depends. What district are you looking at? Like, are you looking for sort of the?
The business district. 'Cause let's open up.
The murder district.
That's
So-
what I want to do.
So you've discovered fairly quickly that the poorest people live in sort of a shanty town outside of the fish gate. Within the city, there's a district that they call the windblown district, that is taverns and inns and sort of townhouses for sailors and captains. There's the upper class residential district that's for the very wealthy and sort of miniature palaces. And then there's sort of a different district near the river gates across from the animal district that has sort of more modest townhouses and stuff.
I don't know.
Rich people.
Well, I don't want to live with the rich people because I want to open up a shop.
So for sort of a combined
I
shop
step away
and
for 2 minutes, and you're opening fucking commerce? What?
so for a
I came
combined
up with backstory.
combined shop and house, you're probably going to want to look at the Windblown district. That's up near the barracks, between the captain's palace and the barracks, right on the river across from the Sea Bazaar. It's sort of centrally located. How big of a place are you
Sounds
looking for?
delightful. Well, needs to be big enough for my shop, big enough for me and Fozzie, and if these two idiots want to live there.
Okay.
That's the sweetest thing you've ever said.
I know.
I thought you'd just, roll out a couple of carpets and throw them outside the front door, like outside, and say, if you want to sleep here, that's where it's going to be.
I'd at least put you on the roof.
Oh, and for those of you wondering about Zerf, for right now, he sort of stays in the river valley, where it's all naturey. He doesn't come into the city proper.
It's too clean there. It's not enough dirt.
You'd probably make him bathe before he could enter the city.
Well, I don't think so.
I just saw this. Here we go. Let's see. So you find a shop, sort of an abandoned storefront. It's not the best location. It's sort of back on an alley, but it's got its own little courtyard that's sort of cut off from everything else. So it doesn't see a lot of foot traffic, but it does have room for Fozzie if Fozzie to hang out. And it's got 3 floors, and the owner is asking $2,500.
At this point, Kiki asks, how many can I buy? How many you got?
I want to try and
I'll take the whole block.
barter with him.
Okay. Give me a persuasion roll.
14.
And what angle are you going with on this?
Kind of dumpy and off the beaten path. Like, you really expect me to pay $2,500? It's obviously just sitting here.
But you obviously need the space, and it has that lovely courtyard with a tree, and its own well. It has excellent amenities, even though the shop itself is maybe not sited as well as it could be. But I can see that is of interest to you. So I suppose I could knock it down to 2,000.
All right. I'll pay that.
All right. So he says that he'll send a Kadi over, or a Kadi over with the proper paperwork, and it was most wonderful doing business with you. And he bows and shuffles off. He does hand you the keys to the place, though. So the first floor has sort of glass front windows that you can take the boards down off of, and it's got display cases, and then sort of a small workshop in the back. Stairs lead up to living quarters, which include kitchen and bathroom and a few bedrooms, and then the backyard or the courtyard, walled in by other buildings on all sides. Is fairly sizable. Like it's big enough for Fozzie to be comfortable. And there is a well in one corner near the house and a tree sort of growing in the middle of it.
Awesome.
Okay, so that's going to take you most of the day. Bert.
Oh, so I'm walking to the mouth of the river that leads into the sea. And I'm looking around for a ferry or boat or water taxi that can take me to that island with the academy.
There are bridges.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Then I just keep on trucking.
Okay. As you pass through the temple, across the temple island, go ahead and give me a perception. Or actually, an insight would be better.
No, it wouldn't be. My insight is going to give me 7.
After the roll?
Yeah, that was a terrible roll, but for some reason I don't think it's going to be the worst one tonight.
Okay, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary as you're crossing the temple
I missed a
aisle.
story here. Shit.
Foreshadowing more than anything else. That's nothing crucial. And so you get to you cross the bridge to the academy, and you find yourself in sort of you can tell that this is a public area where there are some statues with little plaques about notable alumni, and there are some people in blue and gold robes, talking to various families and maybe prospective students. And what do you do?
I try to find somebody that looks important, maybe somebody who's on staff or like a faculty member or something like that, and ask them if I don't know if I find
Doesn't
anyone.
seem to be anyone of real importance here, but one of the blue robed guys comes over, and you notice that he's got sort of a hood up, but you can see that there are tattoos. His head is shaved, and there are tattoos on his scalp. You okay there, Amy?
Yeah, what?
Oh, you're making a face.
Oh.
Like I thought maybe something cool had happened.
I wasn't listening to anything.
Doesn't have anything to do with me, so I'm shutting down.
So he says welcome to the academy. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm very interested in the academy. Oh, my name is Bert, and I tip up my floppy hat so you can see my face.
Okay. Interested in the academy how?
Learning, joining, perusing your library, meeting notable people, networking.
Well, the academy itself, would require signing on for a minimum of a year of seclusion and training in our ways.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to work for me. You got a fast track program? Fast pass, maybe?
wait here for a moment. And he sort of
No?
he sort of bows and shuffles off, and it about 5-10 minutes later, um, a guy in sort of a fancier robe, some more embroidery, um, comes out and introduces himself as their public information guy, essentially. And he says, "What can I help you with? I understand you're
Oh.
curious about our programs."
Yeah, I am actually. I'm a magic user of sorts myself.
Ah, I see. Um, how do you not to ask too personal of a question, but how do you channel your power? Where does it come from?
Technically, through a horrible thing that may or may not exist on your plane.
So it's not so much you don't tap into the pure arcane energy of the world surrounding us. You don't have that intimate bond that we really require to conduct our particular brand of magic. However, we do welcome scholars of all kinds, and I can see about um, arranging an opportunity for you to maybe observe or to access some of our resources if you wish.
Oh, yeah, that sounds wonderful. I'd love a show.
Okay. So are you wanting access to our libraries, or do you want to sit in on lectures, or?
I would like everything on the menu.
Excellent. I think that we can get along famously. Of course, there will be a small donation required to access these things.
Okay, how much?
Your book.
You don't want this book, but I'll give it to you.
um,
Um,
he says he says that he can grant you access to most of the archives for 10 gold a week. That's sitting in on lectures. He'll basically 100 gold will get you a week of dropping in and out as you see fit. Um, if you require lodgings, that's another 150 a week.
Lodgings I can do without. Because something tells me I'm probably going to have a place to stay.
Metagaming.
Also, I don't think Bert would pay 150 bucks a week.
That's
to
true.
sleep. Yeah.
He doesn't have
He's-
100.
No, he doesn't. He's got to be very careful because the only friend he has in the world, besides the flighty one, steals from him. He doesn't know this yet, but he'll find out eventually. So yeah, I would love to pay the 100 gold just to have the run of the place per week.
It'd actually be, if you want access to the archives too, that's the additional, so 110.
Okay, you got it.
Excellent. And he sort of hands you a scrap of cloth to. He goes. You just need to carry this with you. It's enchanted. It'll allow you access to the areas you're authorized to, and prevent access to places that you're not authorized. And it will also signal our faculty that you're allowed to be here.
Okay. Just having
you didn't accept
flashbacks
it.
to the last study that we were in. That was, what was it called? The one that we got kicked out of for fucking
Keta?
Keta. Yeah, tried to hack their their access bracelet, and I just fucked everything up.
To be fair, I don't think that's not the only reason you guys were kicked out of Keta.
No,
I mean,
no.
David helped there a lot.
Yeah, fire ladder. We ruined their ancient archive. We let go of that horrible thing.
So David, you're heading out to Stone Town, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so you head out the Stone Gate, and you can see that there's this old road that cuts across sort of some salt flats to a cliff few miles distant. And you can see homes carved directly out of the living rock and sort of a big quarry. And it looks like all the stone for the buildings in Karst came from that quarry. And off to your left, you can see a colorful collection of tents, and you can hear music and smell food. Actually, you hear that the singing's in Elvish, a dialect you don't really recognize, but you recognize your own tongue.
I'm still headed straight towards a smith.
Okay. So it takes you a little while to get there, but you get to Stone Town, and you see dwarves moving about, sort of in the central square where the road meets the cliff. There seem to be several brokerages. Um, there's some marble lining some of the shops. And you don't. Let me just see. Roll me. Oh, I'll just do this. And you happen to be in luck that there is a smithy. He seems to be concerned mainly with making stone cutting tools. But he looks up and he says, "Hands to yourself, elf. I know you're kind."
But I'm
I
racist.
would like to have use of your smithy.
An elf who smiths? What's this world coming to?
Have my own tools.
Well, if you have your own tools, what do you need my shop for?
Just, I need to break down this diamond.
Where'd you steal it from?
I took it from the ground.
Perfect.
So do you hold up this chunk of diamond that you carved out
No,
of that
I
plaza?
like pat my satchel.
Well, I don't know how much smithing tools are going to do with diamond. You need gem cutters for that.
Do you have any?
Well, I could put you in touch with a few, but I don't know that they'd be happy working with an elf. I mean, Stone Town's got the best stone cutters in hundreds of miles. The only gem cutters in hundreds of miles. What are you looking to do with it?
I lay out a piece of paper with the designs for Fozzie's armor.
Okay, so DM note, I forgot. How much diamond did I say you got?
It was about yay big.
Okay. I thought so. And he's like, well, this is an ambitious project. But I don't, unless you have a lot of diamond, you're not going to get all that diamond plating done. I mean, I can certainly help you. Let you use my facilities to work on this. I've got a spare forge. You're going to need a lot of material, though.
I understand.
But yeah, you're free to use my facilities for a modest rent. We'll say 10 gold a week.
Done.
And of course, the first payment up front.
First payment? Yeah, here.
I think we can do business, Master Elf.
What's your name?
I'm going to go with my standard dwarf fallback. Ragnar.
Thank you, Ragnar.
Oh, thank you, Master Elf.
And I get to work. Well, I asked for the gem cutter's name, or
Yeah, he puts you in touch with a fellow named I'm gonna need to write this down here. Okay, so he's not a dwarf, but he's still the best gym cutter around. You're gonna want to seek out Travis Twinkle Tapper, and he's just across the square there.
Okay. Twinkle Tapper.
This is Ragnar. Ragnar Ragebellow. Good dwarven name. Um,
So I try to work in some of the metal that I bought earlier, and I
okay.
can't remember.
You've been holding that around. So how much was that, and what was it?
It was only enough to, kind of. It wasn't much. I think it was a couple pieces of ore.
Okay. But yeah, you can get something going with that. So, Kiki,
Hmm.
do you do anything else besides buy your house?
I need to go around getting things to set up my shop.
Okay.
So acquiring stuff.
What sort of stuff?
Odds and ends.
And how are you acquiring this stuff?
Legally.
Okay. So I guess what sort of shop are you setting up?
A curio shop.
Okay. So you're just sort of selling interesting trinkets?
Yeah, and exotic animals.
Okay. So you're gonna need to go to the Sand Bazaar, which is where all of the land-based caravans set up. And it is, just picture 100 guys like the guy at the beginning of Aladdin you know, combination hookah frymaker will not break. Oh, it broke. They're all trying to sell you shit. So I guess what we'll do is just sort of a general insight check to see how much of their bullshit you can see through.
So much. 22.
Okay. So you catch several scams, you manage to make some good deals, and you arrange to have delivery of how much in merchandise are you looking to buy?
Like gold wise?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I don't know. Enough to fill the shop.
Okay. So probably, depending on the quality of curios you're buying, probably a few hundred gold. Would you say?
Yeah.
Okay. So you managed to spend 250 gold and get about 300 gold worth of curios delivered to your shop. And then you're also looking for exotic animals? Oops. Um, Amy, roll me a d4.
Or just some random animals. 4.
Okay. Um. All right. So it's sort of winding down towards the end of the day. What do you guys do?
Ah,
I work into the night and visit. What's his name?
Travis?
Yeah,
Travis
yeah,
Twinkle Tapper?
yeah, Twinkle Tapper.
Okay. You catch him just as he's sort of closing up shop, and he's a gnome, and he's got sort of shock white hair that sort of sticks up all over the place, and he's got a face that looks like he's used to having sort of jeweler's loops in them.
Hmm.
And he looks up at you and he goes, "Stay away from my merchandise. You don't want to know what I've got in there. Constructs that'll fuck you up."
Nah, I'm just looking for somebody to cut some diamond
Where'd you come across some diamond?
in the ground.
A mining elf. Huh. How about that?
Didn't
What
say
do you
I
want?
mind it.
Look, elf. Just be happy I'm doing business with you. So what do you want done with this?
I need slivers of shards, kind of like for armor.
I think I could do that. Like how big of scales are you talking about?
$50, gold size, coin size.
I think I could do that. Do you need to mount it on anything?
The armor I'm making over there, a Ragnar.
So are you gonna sort of make your own fittings for it to just sort of slot into, or do you need me to make fixtures?
Fixtures?
Okay. And how much? Let me see this rock you got.
Oh, it's a big chunk of diamond.
And he sort of fiddles in his pocket and pulls out a loop, making his eye like 10 times as big. Oh, for this sort of project, it's going to be quite the payday for me. Tell you what, I'll do it for 1,000. And you tell whoever you're building this armor for that it was Travis Twinkle Tapper who did it for him. The diamond.
Unfortunately, I don't have that much, so I don't tell him that. I just think that it's like
work it out and trade.
I go gambling.
Okay. What do you tell Twinkle Tapper?
I'll be back.
Yeah, sure, whatever. And he continues locking up his shop. Okay, so Kai's gonna go gambling. He's gonna make his way down to the Windblown District, I assume. Bert, how do you spend the afternoon?
I probably would at least familiarize myself with the grounds, going through the place, looking for the library, seeing where the lecture halls are, maybe trying to meet some people. Not really diving into it yet because it's winding down in the afternoon, and I'm probably gonna have to find a place to stay.
So the north end of the island has the lighthouse that it seems that the academy is in charge of maintaining. And there are barracks, sort of 2 rows of dormitories there. The southern end of the island seems to have faculty quarters and offices, And in the center, there's a large complex that seems to house the the library as well as any lecture halls that are sort of off the library.
Okay. And then I take out my ritual book. I summon up my little poofball owl,
Okay.
and I use him because he has better perception than I do to find Kiki
And
or Kai. I don't know.
and he sort of bounces and and then flutters off. So Kiki, after the Sand Bazaar, do you go back to your shop?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, crap. Okay. So as you're crossing the river, you get sort of smacked in the side of the head by a little fuzzball that flops to the ground and sort of twitches for a second and gets up and shakes itself off. And Shane, I totally forgot this owl. Like, is it a spell?
Yeah, it's just a ritual.
Is it the animal messenger?
A what?
What's the name of it?
Find familiar.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'd be walking around with it, but it would be just up above, looking for it.
So he's your familiar.
Yeah.
Period. Okay.
The form I've chosen for it this time, and probably always because it's adorable.
So Kiki, you recognize this as Bert's familiar. 107.
What are you doing?
I'm looking to see what the familiar can do.
It doesn't get too far from me, but
Riveting radio right here, Caleb.
Well, I trust Shane to cut it out, Amy.
I'll make it better.
I trust our producer.
I trust no one.
I had the spell up already, damn it. Let me see.
I thought you were Pact of the Tome.
I am, but I took a feat for ritual casting. And that gives me like another little book for ritual stuff.
Okay.
I'm familiar with
So
240.
I'll look at the spell here. I was just looking at familiar. There's Pact of the Chain automatically gets it.
Oh, yeah. Your familiar acts independently of you, but is always obeys commands. In combat, it rolls down initiative and acts on its own turn. Familiar can't attack.
I've got it. Okay, so he
Communicates telepathically.
has to go find you to tell you where she is.
Well, no. If my familiar is within 100 feet of me, it can communicate telepathically.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of trying to keep close to it.
Oh, so you're sort of running off behind it.
Yeah, just like wandering around as it's kind of in my area, looking around.
So retcon. Kiki, a little puffball starts sort of flying around your head, and Shane, you hear, "Got her, boss. She's on the bridge. You want me to fry her?"
No, God, no. Just she'd pop you like a balloon. Just
I would.
come back to me. I'll get her.
Sure thing. And so he flies back. What do you do, Kiki? You've seen this owl. It's Bert keeps him around.
I look around, see if I can see Bert.
Oh, I would come find you if she told me, or he told me where you were.
Yeah, but I don't know if Kiki would stick around to be found.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fill
So yeah,
in
you guys meet up on the bridge between the Sea Bazaar and the Wind Lodgings, or in the Windblown District. You guys can talk to each other if you
Okay.
want.
Hey, Keek.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, since we don't have Lee Howe anymore, I need an adult to find me a bed. And
I bought a house.
You bought
The rent is 200 gold.
What?
It's fine. I already took it from you. You're good.
Is that like? Wait, what?
We're covered.
When it? So I reach into my bag. I'm like, you're full of shit.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
You did that while I was knocked out, you little turd.
You got a room though, all to yourself.
Yeah, whatever. I don't. Thanks, Keek.
You're welcome.
Heartwarming.
Come on, Puffball. I don't even know what I call you. I was talking to the thing.
I know, but
I don't know. I drew a little picture of him. I don't know if you can
Puff
see it.
Magic Owl.
A little bit.
so cute.
Let's see.
He's got to look at least as crazy as I do.
What time of day is it?
It's getting to the sort of late afternoon.
Alright. Don't mind the crap in the house. I bought a shop. It's attached to the house. Don't worry about it.
Jesus, are we staying here? Okay.
A little while.
I don't know how I feel about settling down.
Yeah, kind of a free spirit, you know. You know, this bird's got to fly.
You got books to read, don't you?
Yeah, but I was gonna steal them. Oh, I was gonna talk to you about that.
We'll get to read something.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment.
I'm kidding. I'm just like putting words in the air.
Oh,
So
okay.
now,
But I do have Dimension Door. I don't know if that would do me well or not.
So, do you try to find Kai?
Yes.
I am not worried about him, but okay. Actually, I'll go with
I'm
Kiki.
so excited. I want to tell him I bought a house.
He's gonna gamble it away. You're gonna leave your keys on the bed frame or something like that, and he's gonna walk in. Oh, cool! I can probably get money for these in the alley.
So, Kai,
Ew, is this the town we're in?
that's similar.
Okay.
Sort of same sort of architecture.
Less tin roof,
Yeah.
more brick, and okay.
Yeah, no, not the shanty town in the shanty town in the front would be like the shanty town outside the walls of
Okay,
Carthage.
so scroll up until you get to the good parts.
Yeah, get rid of that stuff.
All right, cool. Until you get to the turquoise penises and the light tower. Sorry.
This is Bukhara. It was once like a major center of trade. Do you know what happened to the city? The Mongols wiped out every last man, woman, and child, and it never recovered.
Well, they shouldn't have made dick towers.
Those are minarets and Mongols.
If your penis looks like this, please do. Especially if it's the one in the middle. I'm concerned for you.
Oh, there are 3. I didn't scroll over to the other side. Okay.
No,
So
I meant the big.
the big
brown
one, yeah, the one that's shaped almost like a satellite. dish at the top? Yeah. If your dick is concave in the tip, you need to see a doctor.
If it goes from pretty big, then out, and then really skinny, that's
What?
Or Amy, would you
Doesn't
chat?
knock until you try it.
We have someone in chat asking if anyone's staffing it, and since you don't listen to me anyways.
God, why am I in charge of this?
Because you're so salty.
Because I just tried to type something back, and apparently I'm not actually logged in, even though I'm able to stream, and I don't know.
You started the whole thing, but you're not authorized.
Yeah. So,
I have it up, but I'm like never really bad at this whole.
We're terrible.
Yeah.
We're
Thanks for showing up.
Yeti Champ, thank you so much for visiting. We rarely have anyone watching our stream besides us, so we're not used to people trying to talk to
The
us.
first couple of times we did this, I was very like watching it, and now it's just like I don't even pay attention. Nobody talks if there is.
So anyways, Kai. Looking for a gambling den. Since this is a seaport town and it's also a major trading center, you have no trouble finding a game. What sort of game are you looking for?
One with big odds.
All right.
I know how to find Kai. We gamble.
So the first thing, Kai, is well, let's just do a quick sort of a preliminary game here. Roll percentiles. So you start off with winnings of 60 gold. Now roll me another percentile. Because Kai's prone to carousing. He doesn't like to just gamble. He gambles and drinks.
40.
Roll a d20.
Oh. Tell me
So-
this is a diamond.
So the rest of your night is like a microcosm of just a whirlwind romance adventure. You have a meet cute, you get drinks, you have dinner, you make wild, passionate love, and then you have a disagreement, and she slaps you and runs away, and you never see her again. And that all happen, and you're left heartbroken and back at the gambling den late at night.
Get ready for round 2.
Okay, another gambling roll, please.
I love how all that happened, and it wasn't even his whole night.
63.
It took place in the span of a couple hours. Like, okay, you actually lose 46 gold.
Okay.
He went through a lifetime in 2 hours, and he's back.
It's like that episode of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like somebody can play the flute.
He's got this 1,000-yard stare.
Oh, you're still playing? Okay.
Oh,
Like sun's coming up.
How do we find him?
Oh,
we stand behind him just...
you lose 140 gold from that.
David.
Let me know if you're ever unable to pay these gambling debts, by the way.
Seriously, Caleb.
Do we,
Where's
yeah, I'll send out my poof ball. Actually, this time I'm not following it. I'm just sending him out.
Okay. Wow. Your poof ball's on the ball.
Much
Uh,
lost 100 and
140.
But you were up 60, right?
But no, he was then down 43. He
Uh,
was up 60, lost 43, so it was actually up 17.
70.
woo!
You gained 14 back.
Slowly coming back, Kai.
How much are you trying to win?
1,000.
Oh my
With
god.
with the way you've been playing, they won't let you into the really high stakes games.
The only way I'd ever do this is if I could save scum it. It's the only way.
27.
No.
And the sailors are like, "We gotta go catch our ships, man."
Hold him with your kung fu grip and make him gamble.
It is lost forever. I'm sure the cat will find it.
That's the last one.
What'd you roll? 27? They rolled a 70 something. So that's
Two
gonna
losers,
be
right?
we'll
Lower
call
the
it
better.
70 minus 30 is 40, so 80 gold lost.
Oh my God, David.
Okay. No.
It's just not been Kai's night. Like, it was nice for an hour or so. But then she found out he was an elf. And
Oh, no.
Did you Spock it and put a headband on or something behind your ears?
Okay. High, I continue. Low, I don't. I put my lightning.
Oh, dude, come on! I gave that to you as a gift.
Caleb,
That was a
Caleb's
quinceanera
down
gift.
him
You
by
can't
now.
give that away.
actually, Amy has a point. The puffball, by this point, the puffball would have been able to get to him and back. So, I mean, you guys can bust in at the last second as he's about to
Yeah.
make this roll.
Okay.
But he did roll a 78. And they rolled a 3. So he gains back 150.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have a
And
total
so
of
that's-
187.
That's when you guys sort of bust in.
Like a father catching his son smoking pot in his room. What are you doing? Why is that on the table?
Of course, keep in mind, it's like 8 in the morning at this point.
Let's be honest.
We've been looking all night for you, goddammit. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get money for Fozzie.
This isn't
Amy,
the way,
have
man.
you
Sell your body for
circulated word
sex.
that you need someone to mind the shop?
What?
Have you tried to circulate word that you need someone to mind the shop?
No, you said it was getting late, so I was gonna wait till like today to do it.
Okay.
Because I also need to circulate word about the other thing.
Okay. That's going to be a completely different method.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Not you, them.
Look, I show them the plans for Fozzie's armor and say, "This is what I'm doing."
Something nice?
Dude, we would have totally let you have some money. I would give you some for Fozzie. Fozzie's wonderful.
Just asked.
This gnome wants $1,000 to bust this.
I like how David's completely focused on the diamond when, like, he hasn't even really figured out how he's going to make the armor to put the diamond on yet.
You know what?
That's kind.
That is Kai.
I'm gonna ask Bert to see if he can find some magical way to meld the diamond to the metal.
Oh yeah, give it to me. I'll go to the academy. I'll take real nice care of it. Trust me.
Have you tried bartering with the guy?
Not yet. I just knew I didn't have enough money for it.
I feel like I can help out with that.
Look at us getting along. How adorable.
It's for fun.
All it took was a big, deadly owl thing.
Speaking of Fozzie, that is going to also factor into your upkeep, Amy.
Oh, you gotta hire a moppet to clean up his poo.
Well, more, you need to get him food.
Yeah. You gotta feed him moppets.
Concern in this.
What, Amy?
I see no concern in this.
Okay. Amy's just money bags.
She's somewhere between Bruce Wayne and Scrooge McDuck at this point.
Who said I was gonna buy food?
Are you gonna fish off a pier?
She said
What do
she's
owlbears eat?
Everything. As far as I know. I don't,
gonna do a
dude,
Sweeney
as far
Todd.
as, yeah. That's exactly right. I was like, are you opening this shop so you can rob or kill people? Is that why it's in the slums?
Speaking of which, do you put your Thieves' Cant symbols up?
Yeah.
Okay. What specifically do you advertise? Like fence, wet work, second story jobs.
Wet work. God, I can't remember what any of those are.
Wet work would be assassinations.
Okay, yeah, that.
Okay. Second story jobs would be burglary. Fence would be selling stolen goods.
What I steal, I keep.
I thought that's what you're going to use to open your shop.
What?
Like all the things that you steal. Just put them in your shop. Almost like a
No.
lost and found you have to pay for.
Come get your shit.
And how do you get word out that you need shopkeep?
Wanted poster. Right in front of the shop.
Okay. That
Well,
doesn't get any foot traffic.
I don't know, since it's in an alley, maybe like around the corner so people can see it.
Okay. And I'm assuming you put Thieves' Cant signs up on sort of the broader street saying, back this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to try to hire the Herald? The town criers?
No,
Okay.
I don't need to draw attention.
Okay. So that's Kiki's morning. The poster will cost you a few silver, negligible cost. And
I just spray painted on the shop and next to my shop, in the way. I wanted around the corner.
you could.
I'm kidding.
So what's Kai doing? Sleep, trancing?
No, he's not trenching yet. He's going back to the smith to work out a few more details in the armor.
Okay.
I feel like I need to go with him on that.
So, is he just doing design work?
Yeah.
Okay. And Bert?
I'm gonna have like a typical like walk of shame hipster morning where I'm kind of like unshaven and kind of dirty, but I'm still out and about, and I need to find some kind of a stimulant, a coffee, so I can go about my day. And
All right. Turns out that the Windblown District has lots of coffee houses.
great. I pick the one that looks like. Well, I don't know how would I pick one. I pick the one that looks the dirtiest, I guess.
Okay. You find one that seems like it, depending on the time of day, it serves different functions. So in the morning, it's a coffee shop. In the afternoon, it's a fishmonger's. In the evening, it's a restaurant / tavern. And late at night, it turns into a brothel / flophouse. And so right now, there's this big, burly, bald, tattooed human. Oi! Coffee?
Joe.
Well, it's Ted, actually, but... I couldn't resist.
But
It's Steve, really.
I need a quintuple shot of your strongest everything.
Got it. And he like goes over to this, percolator thing, and pours out just mud. This will get you going. Pulls out a dusty or dirty bottle with a nasty cork, and you can get drunk off the fumes. And he goes, 2 bits.
You got it. So I uncork that sucker, and I'm just waiting for the mud to slide right out. I'm walking down the street like this, just waiting for it.
And actually, it doesn't, like, it's not great, but it hits you, and you're feeling, just right as rain all of a sudden.
Who the hell needs sleep? Is that how elves do it? Oh my god! So I'm off to the library.
They're all calling elven coffee.
So after a couple hours, I just go into a trance, sitting next to the smithy.
All right, and he basically leaves Ragnar basically leaves you alone. And you do get this. You can roll me an insight.
That would be 22.
Okay. You get the sense that he's happy to do business with you, but at the same time he's going to keep his distance because probably you're an elf.
Not a very enlightened part of the world.
And I really like how no one, like, I've been just laying down these things about elves, and what the problem with elves is, man.
Okay, to be fair, I did ask, what's the deal with all the elf hate? And I did kind of get, we kind of got like something from Makta, didn't we?
Yeah,
like
basically,
they were.
I think Yusuf basically said that elves can't be trusted. That they're
Okay.
shifty. And...
I guess we would get more information here.
So the next 4 hours I'm out.
Okay. He doesn't really notice. He's busy working on hammers and chisels and other tools of the stone cutting trade.
Braiding his beard.
That's specious. He does that before he goes into work, okay?
God.
Oh, so he's not the woman, with the eyeliner in the car on the way in.
Actually,
Okay, that was sexist.
I picture Ragnar as having like almost a short, bristly beard that sticks straight out, like because it's been singed.
It's all balled up on the end.
All right, so Bert heads back to the academy.
I go to the academy and I look up how to reforge diamond into something, basically change the physical shape of, I guess, base matter. Without, pleb tools like hammers and forges and stuff.
Roll me an investigation.
Damn you, Caleb. Yeah, damn you. Ooh, fucking A. No. 20.
Okay. It's going to take you actually several days of searching. They seem to have mainly straight up elemental manipulation spells. So they're mainly focused on air. So calling wind, controlling wind, raising, lowering air temperature.
Question about that. Since I've had experience with it, is that something I feel like I can get back? The air flexing. Or something I might have an affinity towards if I tried.
Not through their, like, these are definitely wizard, this is wizard methodology.
Okay, so I don't get it.
Yeah. Like you think you might be able to fake some things, or you could see like you might be able to say, "Hey, can you do this for my friend?" Um,
I'd be
and I
able
would
to.
say
Uh-huh.
after a couple days, you probably decide that the most effective way would be to conjure some earth elementals who would shape the diamond for you.
If I feel like I could actually control them.
Well, you would probably have to hire these guys.
Oh, okay. Crap.
God, everything requires money and stuff.
I mean, I'm sure that you could find a way to pay with things other than money. That
Sell
wasn't
your
meant to be.
body.
That wasn't meant to be dirty. I'm glad you went there, but no, it was actually like you could almost certainly negotiate favors too, especially with something
Sell
like
your
the
body.
academy.
I can't not think of that. I'm glad she's saying it. It doesn't have to come down to me.
Sell your soul.
He doesn't have one anymore.
I'm
Yeah.
right.
It's
I already
funny.
sold it, but go ahead.
Sure, why not?
You know, I sell your book and just have it come back to you.
Oh my God.
Commune with my God and see if he'll do it. She, he, it, whatever.
I think I was, I listened to the podcast. And I'm like, man, I'm not nearly as funny as they are, and it's like, that's right. You're the straight man.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be funny.
So it's
You're the one that's like, no, I'm not talking about prostitution. And you're like, but you totally are.
But you are.
It's okay. I listen to it and I miss references.
I don't listen because I don't even listen when I'm here. So.
Even the ones I make.
Ouch. I mean, we don't have any fans, but I mean,
Where's the line?
I assumed all of us were at least a fan. So
No, we do have some fans.
we have some.
Hi, fans.
We have at least 24 fans. We're grateful for
I
all
feel
of
like
you.
it's
We
more
are. We're very grateful. Super grateful. So grateful.
unbelievably grateful.
This is becoming insincere, isn't it? Sorry, it's not meant to be.
Just keep saying it. So grateful.
Well, there's a
Couldn't be more grateful.
on our
Uh-huh.
Facebook page, facebook.com/ I think it's C&D&D.
You don't even know.
Don't.
Jesus Christ.
But someone made a comment saying, they've been binge listening and they're really happy, and I'm trying to say something that sounds grateful and sincere, and it's like, God, this all sounds so fake. Like, why is it that I cannot trust even my own sincerity?
Our generation is so fucked up. We can't even trust ourselves.
Okay, I was seeing if there was another spell that might work, but basically, for these guys, they'd be needing to summon elementals. You think that if you found a school of wizards or magicians that sort of specialized in manipulation of stone, that they might be able to just do it. That you could hire them directly to do it instead of saying, "Hey, can you summon these elementals to do this?"
Okay. Actually, oh yeah, we don't have those anymore. Never mind. Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, if you guys still had your bracelets, I'm sure Zerf could probably have been convinced to use his earth manipulation to just
Bummer.
not to rub salt in that wound.
Now we have to actually try.
Okay, so basically, I'm going to condense the next few days down. We're not going to do sort of an hour-by-hour thing.
Really?
As you guys get settled into Karst, Kiki does find it takes a couple days, but you sort of get up one morning and you're like, I don't know, doing the equivalent of checking for the paper, and you see this. I'm going to say I'm gonna say he's a dragonborn, because that would be nice and weird. This dragonborn sort of sitting on your stoop.
Hello.
Oh, hello, hello. Did you put your name on the wanted poster?
Yeah. Sure.
Hello, are you Kiki?
Yes.
Excellent. I am Shen. I am a salesman, a showman, a bit of a charlatan, but I would love to earn an honest wage, helping you unload your curios. That may or may not have been from Uncle. Sorry, Amy. That's more thieves' cant. That's from Uncle is stolen.
Oh.
I say that was character.
Oh, I'm sure it was, and he starts to look a little uncertain. Are you new to this? It's okay if you are.
Do you
I'll
have
be happy to
references?
None in this city, no. I'm afraid I had to flee my last employment rather
Good. You
prematurely.
shouldn't have any references for this.
Trick question. Pass, sir.
I don't pay much.
How much do you pay?
Like, God, nothing. A silver a day, a shilling a day.
Food and lodging?
What the frick is the going rate? Like, I don't know. If I say 10 gold, is he gonna wet himself? Like,
10 gold would be high. You figure a farmer earns. There's an actual figure for this in one of these
a
books.
shilling a week?
Well, here they pay in dinars,
Whatever.
in dirhams. Um, Currency 19 and 20 and 133.
How's Puff the Magic Owl doing?
Oh, he's probably just hanging out with me. Looking weird. Because I don't need him for anything. You get a lot of books here. Yeah, I do. Shut up. You summoned me. I don't know. Dude, chill.
He could actually probably help you peruse the books too.
Actually, instead of sitting here, why don't you go, find something useful for me? Alright, fine.
Okay, this has to be the interaction with you and this bird thing from now on. You just talk to yourself.
I kind of forgot I had him. So he's slowly turning into a Saddam Hussein. It's all right, guys. So what are we looking for? Well, I'm trying to turn, this stone into something more like a plate. Oh, yeah, all right. I'll start looking. Can you read?
Is he a perverted owl?
Well, he can't. Like, the idea is that he's like a spirit that's taken the form of an animal.
Perusing your nudie magazines.
Yeah.
Just pretend.
I don't know about that. Is she old enough to be in it? That seems weird. Stop looking at that. Those are mine. How are these pages stuck together? I don't understand. How can you open this thing?
Hireling.
Ooh. Is that in the DMG or is that a...
It's actually in
PHP?
the it's PHP.
Well, that's not the...
I'm gonna say he's skilled. because he's going to be selling this stuff. So he wants 2 gold a day, and that would go. There's a maintenance fee for maintaining a shop, and so that would factor into that.
What's the maintenance fee?
That's in this book.
I haven't heard your ping in a while, Bert.
Oh, you know what? I haven't done that in a while. There is a lot of stuff. I am terrible at this game.
Maintenance cost for a shop is 2 gold a day, so basically the cost of employing him. But depending on how the business does, it can sort of pay for itself.
Okay. All right. And I fill him in. That's fine. 2 gold a day. I fill him in on the side business.
Oh, of course, of course.
And
Discretion is my second middle name.
depending on if he brings me like legit people who aren't like, I don't know, not trying to scam me, but like, what am I trying to say?
You're trying to have me ingratiate you into the existing network of the city. Is that correct?
Yeah. If he could get me legitimate people who want legitimate things done, then I'll give him commission.
Well, I should think that with a captain spot open, there's going to be quite a lot of work on that front. What should be the code?
They're gonna want to ask for a, what did they say? Specific animal. Oh, anybody looking for a chocobo?
Now, do you want it to be a chocobo or a sturge?
A sturge. That's
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. And you're primarily a curio shop, so like, do you want
Curios
it?
with exotic pets.
But you haven't actually gone and acquired any pets or any way to store them, or.
Yeah, it's just I have to go find them like on request.
Okay, I see.
So when
You're
somebody
more of a
comes in-
broker in that animal
yeah,
broker.
Yeah. So when
Okay.
they ask for a sturge, I don't have one. I go and find one.
So the animal broker is the side business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shin will be happy to set up, and he'll immediately get to work.
Okay. He's gonna need to take care of Fozzie too, who just hangs out when I'm not doing anything.
Excellent. Any special instructions?
He eats what he wants.
Do I need to procure anything for him?
No, I'll do that.
Most excellent. Okay, so here we go. Meanwhile,
Meanwhile.
well,
Jesus
I had-
Christ, is that
Are we
you?
gonna take a break or what?
yeah, we can. So, but before we do that, I had some threads I wanted to lay out there. So the first one I think is going to be Bert.
Yes.
As you're walking to the academy, there is sort of a crazy beggar, seems blind, with a bowl in front of him, and he's muttering how a gap in the circle will invite darkness and the doom of all. Woe, people of Karst, woe! Doom approaches. Gird yourselves. And on that
Blind
ominous
beggar.
note,
Write that down.
Yeah, right?
on that ominous note, that's where we're going to go ahead and cut it for now. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week. Until then, keep it chaotic.
Bye.
Good night.